Alright guys, so over the course of a few months and 3 different videos, I have taken my cheap Jackson Rhoads V JS32 series and thrown a bunch of new parts into it, transforming it into this fully upgraded but still pretty affordable metal guitar. Okay, first let's talk a little bit about the original guitar, and then I'll go over all of the upgrades. So this was a plain Jane gloss white Jackson Rhoads V, again from the JS32 series, which is their sort of entry-level guitars, and I bought this from the used section at Guitar Center for $220. It's got a poplar body, maple neck, rosewood fretboard with 24 extra jumbo frets, and it originally had the Jackson branded pickups in the Jackson by Floyd Rose bridge. And right out of the box, these are great, affordable heavy metal guitars. When they're new, they're around $350, and I think what you're really paying for that money is a cool looking metal guitar and a really great neck. These necks are super smooth, they've got big extra jumbo frets, a satin finish on the back of the neck, really comfortable, and also these necks are very consistent across all of the JS32 series guitars. Okay, now let's talk about all of the upgrades. I have changed the pickups, all of the wiring, the nut, the bridge, and even the strap buttons. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this stuff. So the big thing that I've changed since the last video is the nut and the bridge. The original Jackson by Floyd Rose bridge is honestly, it's kind of the weak link of the guitar. The arm was a bit clanky, the fine tuners were really rough, and also the nut had this problem where when you would clamp it down, these clamps would twist a little bit, then that would bend the strings out of tune. So here's what I did. I went on eBay and I found a Floyd Rose special kit that included the bridge, but it had a bunch of titanium upgrades, or titanium, as I like to say. Now, I know a Floyd Rose special is not the be-all, end-all of Floyd Rose bridges, but honestly, this bridge, once it had all of these titanium upgrades, is pretty awesome. So the pieces that are titanium on this, first of all, the bolts here that hold the saddles in, that lock the saddles, those are, and then the blocks in the saddles that clamp the strings in, and then also the screws that screw into the back of the saddles that just clamp everything together, that hold those in. Those are titanium. And then also up here on the nut, the clamps and the screws are titanium as well. And honestly, the nut here and these clamps is a really big deal. Not only is this a superior material, but it is built to much tighter tolerances. And so that problem where the clamps were a little undersized and then the clamps twist when you tighten them down, that problem has been completely eliminated. The whole thing cost around $120, and I'll put a link in the video description for it. Fair warning though, it took a long time to arrive, so I don't know if they're putting them together like as they're needed or something, but it took, I don't know, several weeks for it to show up. Okay, now the other new thing I did was to change the strap buttons to a set of the perfect lock bolt strap locks. These guitars, like the heavy metal shapes and everything, you know, you drop this guitar, one hit on this pointy headstock and you can kiss this thing goodbye. You know, same thing with the upper horn here. If you whack this or drop it, the thing's gonna crack right off. I don't want to drop a guitar, obviously, and especially when I've already put a lot of money and work into upgrading the guitar, so spending a little bit of extra money on a really good set of strap locks I think is a very good investment. Now, the other upgrades I have talked about in previous videos, that's basically the pickups and the wiring, but I'll talk a little bit more about that too in this video, but let me do that after the playing demo because we want to go ahead and plug this thing in and listen to how it sounds and see if we can do some nice whammy work with this new bridge and everything. But now, real quick guys, as always, if you enjoy videos like this, checking out cool, affordable guitars, and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Okay, let's go ahead and plug this thing in and listen to what sort of sounds we can get out of this budget metal machine. Let's do it. Okay guys, so let's talk a little bit more about this guitar and the bridge in particular. Guys, this new upgraded bridge, even though this is a Floyd Rose special, this thing just works awesome. Now, some of the problems that people sometimes have with Floyd Rose special bridges or less expensive Floyd Rose style bridges is sometimes the metal that's used is soft. And the key here is that the components of the bridge which have been upgraded with the titanium parts are often the parts that originally go bad. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about here. The little saddle blocks that are inside of the saddles, that's the piece that squeezes against the end of the string and holds it in place there. Over time, on the original Floyd Rose special bridges, sometimes those blocks can be a little soft and they'll start to get little grooves where the string metal has actually pressed into the block. So you have to keep putting the string in, like in a slightly different place, to get the block to really hold it in securely. With these new titanium blocks, that problem is completely eliminated. Okay, so the other big upgrades on this guitar that I covered in previous videos is the pickups and the wiring. So the deal with these pickups here, these are the GFS Power Rails pickups, and the pickups and the wiring is using something called their quick plug system. It's basically where you can connect the pickups using little tiny audio cable, sort of like an auxiliary cable, although it's a slightly smaller diameter than that, but it just makes installing pickups very easy and very clean also. The original Jackson pickups weren't that bad, but these new the Power Rails pickups, I mean, they look awesome and they have a really great, really powerful mid-range punch to them that I really like, and it sounds really great for heavy metal and rock guitar playing. Now, the one thing that I have not changed at all, and I have no plans to change, is the neck and the frets. These, even though these are budget-friendly guitars, like, $300, $350, right in that price range, and that's the new price. That's what you pay if you walk into a store and buy one of these off the shelf. These necks, they just knocked it out of the park with these necks. Nice big jumbo frets. They're, flat. The fret ends are done really nice. It's got the white binding and the satin finish on the back of the neck. It's comfortable and responsive. It's kind of the highlight of the guitar. Okay, but what do you guys think about this guitar? Is there anything else that you guys think I should upgrade on this? I gotta say, I'm pretty thrilled with it as it is now. I think, the upgrades I've done have come out really, really good. And when I play it, there's nothing that I feel like I want to change, nothing that I feel like is lacking on it. But maybe there are things I'm not considering. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below. Or if you think I should stop here and just enjoy the guitar, let me know about that as well. So guys, I will put links for everything I was talking about in the video down in the video description below. Also guys, if you enjoyed that backing track I was playing to, that is from the Backing Tracks by Tim channel, and I'll have a link down in the video description for that as well. I will also put links down there for my social media, my merch and instruction materials, all the good stuff. And guys, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.